Woo! What's going on, guys? It's Ricky with TechBud Solutions. Hope that you guys are all having an amazing Sunday. I have here today a very special guest, my friend. No, just kidding. My girlfriend, Megan. So hopefully you guys can be respectful. I just thought that it would be pretty cool. I usually have Weston that joins me during these Sunday stock talks to give me secondhand opinions. But we're going to have someone that's actually an absolute beginner. So hopefully that's something that you guys find helpful, as I'm going to be breaking down the top stocks that you see value in, but I'm going to be doing it while I explain it to her. So hopefully while I explain it to her, you can kind of view it as me explaining it to you. So I really hope that I earn your thumbs up in this video if you feel like I earned it. I also do want to remind you that our $1,000 giveaway is tomorrow. And if you're excited for that, all you have to do is, you don't need to be a part of Learn Plan Profit. You don't need to be a part of our Facebook group. All you need to do is, even if you subscribe to our YouTube channel today, click the first link that you see down below. It's going to say save your spot for the $1,000 giveaway. We're going to be having a total of 10 prizes with the grand prize of $1,000. What?
I'm just reading some of these.
I'm not looking at any of the comments. But the grand prize being $1,000, and as well as we're going to be giving away the Learn Plan Profit course away for free. Some people are going to be able to get it for $50. We've never done a giveaway this big. And again, all you literally have to do is click the link down below, the first one that you see. So let's go ahead and get right to it. I'm going to start sharing my screen just so you guys can see exactly what it is that I have going on. For all those that love asking, what platform am I using? I am using the TD Ameritrade Thinkorswim platform. It is the platform that I use. It is not the one that you have to use. There's so many amazing platforms out there. All you have to do is take time, inform yourself about what they offer, and see if that is enough of value that you're getting from that brokerage. If it's not, then find one that meets all your criteria. So let's go. You're distracted, I see. But yeah, I really hope that you guys enjoy this Sunday Stock Talk. You guys know that we're all about just empowering you to have a trade plan, to not listen to other people's opinion, and to enjoy the process. What's going on?
Someone gets Weston looks different.
Yeah. Let's go ahead and get started. So Ismail is going to be sharing the ticker call out format, and all I'm going to be asking you is, all I ask you for me to break down your top stock, to take 1 minute and make sure that you set up your trade plan in the ticker call out format. I want to make sure that you take time to do your own due diligence before I share my 2 cents. I think it's only right for you to make sure that you've at least dedicated time to have a better understanding of what that stock has to offer and if it's actually an opportunity. So let's go ahead and get started. If you guys do say anything inappropriate, Ishmael will block you in a second. So just a little heads up on that. Here we go. So we got Alex with he's actually just sharing. Appreciate you, Alex. You're sharing the ticker call out format, so I appreciate that. So we got Squidward, CLDR. Let's go ahead and get started. CLDR. Every stock that I break down, I'm going to have on this left side column. At least that's what it looks like to me. So overall, CLDR overall was showing signs of a descending pattern. Overall began to change its direction and has began to trade above the SMA line. So we've been seeing higher highs and higher lows. One of the things that I don't like about CLDR is the inconsistency of changing of direction. It was showing signs of a descending pattern, and now the overall direction is an uptrend pattern. So yes, it is uptrending overall in the past 180 days. And based off of previous patterns right now, it looks like it's selling off. So one of the things that I like to remind our traders, and again, this is just my opinion, so just take it as that. And if it makes sense, then great. One of the things that I like to remind people is, again, if your intention is to grow your account, then you want to partake and put your money where it's showing signs of growth. So overall, CLDR is showing signs of growth, right? For the past maybe 2 months. But as of right now and how we're seeing this, if we were to put an arrow at the end of the EMA line, it's pulling back, right? There's no question about that. We don't know how much more it's going to pull back. So I would say that CLDR, yes, although it has been uptrending, I think that it has a margin to potentially give back, meaning that maybe right now it's not the best time to enter. So I'm a huge believer in making sure that the overall direction is in your favor, because if you focus on something that's showing signs of growth, it makes it that much easier for you to actually be able to sell for a profit. So I'm going to go ahead and click on create alert there, and I'm also going to create an alert if it ends up making lower lows, as just as much as it could go up, it could 100% go down. So I appreciate that call out, Squidward. Let's go ahead and move on to the next one. Let's go ahead and check this out. So we got ticker symbol SNAP. Appreciate you tuning in, David. So ticker symbol SNAP, so SNAP. Here we go. So SNAP overall showing signs of an uptrend. One of the things that I want to ask you, I've said that, again, when something is showing signs of consistent signs of growth, it makes it easier, right? What have you noticed for the past maybe 2.5 months? Is it still making higher highs, or is it kind of like flatlining?
It looks like it's plateauing, right?
Yeah, it's consolidating, right? So I like the term that you use, plateauing, right? So it's kind of just flatlining. It's not showing signs of higher highs. It doesn't mean that it can't. All it means is like, hey, the last time that it peaked out before, or a month before, almost a month and a half before, at around the same resistance. So this overall uptrend pattern is really no longer there. And you can see that the overall SMA line has began to catch up with Snapchat. And this normally happens when we see a consolidation phase and when something is about to pull back. So just a little heads up that, again, this doesn't have to continue to uptrend. Patterns tend to repeat themselves. They don't have to. So again, repeat that if you've never heard that before. But overall, yes, it does look like a potential dip buy opportunity with the RSI and the MACD. I do agree that it looks a little bit more on the oversold side, based off of previous patterns and how it just peaked out at around $18. So one of the things that I like to take into consideration is like, is the margin of profit worth it? It's over 10%. So from bottom to top, yes, it looks attractive if it were to be a perfect trade. But let's be completely honest, how often does a perfect trade happen? At least for me, not very often, right? So because of that, we want to think about worst case scenario. Well, right now I know that I don't want to get in. So why, so this can be a little bit more of a difficult question for you, but why as of right now would I maybe not want to buy Snapchat? So it peaked out here at $18 and it's been selling off. Why would I maybe not want to buy as soon as the market opens on Monday? Would you know? No?
I don't know, because it looks like it might continue to sell off.
Exactly. It's that simple. It's like, it's showing signs of a sell-off, and although it's oversold, it would be nice if it does potentially find a support and bounce, but it doesn't have to. It can continue to sell off. Let's agree that the market's been inconsistent, and because of that, we maybe want to be a little bit more selective with our entries and with our exits. I think that we can all agree on that, right? So just as much as it could go up, it could 100% go down. So I'm going to set my alert if it does end up making higher highs, but I'm also going to set my alert if it ends up breaking its potential support. So I appreciate the call out, David. Let's go ahead and move on to the next one. What is going on, highlight reel? What's up? What's up? We got ticker symbol UGAS. What's going on, Evan? Appreciate you tuning in. Here we go. Oh, wow. I put ticker symbol Evan. Okay, so Evan, I didn't know. I don't know if you knew, but you're publicly traded now. Here we go. Ticker symbol UGAS. UGAS has a huge focus on natural gas. I 100% know why it is that you're bringing this to my attention. Natural gas had a huge red week last week, so it gave back a lot of margin, right? So it makes sense on why it could potentially recover. Again, its overall direction right now is not uptrending. One of the things that I do want you to pay attention to, at least I pay attention to, is /NG. And right now, as the futures opened at 3 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, so the futures opened here, this is where it closed at on Friday, this is where it's at right now, it's not looking like UGAS is going to open green. And I don't know if a lot of you guys know this, the ticker symbol might be different if you're not using TD Ameritrade, but it's the natural gas future that allows you to see how natural gas is trading before UGAS and DGAS open up. I'm a huge believer in having more patterns to be able to analyze, to have a better understanding of its direction. So all we're seeing right now is natural gas is still selling off. So what does that mean? Yes, UGAS is oversold and it did sell off a lot last week. It doesn't mean that it has to bounce. It means that it can, and when we'll set our alerts and we'll set ourselves up for success, But let's be patient. Let's be selective. And as of right now, I think it might have a little bit more margin to sell off before it actually continues to, before it actually ends up reversing. So I just went ahead and I set my alerts there. It is pretty similar to the other one. So let's go ahead and move on to the next one. So this is going to be ticker symbol ROAD by Marco. All right, so I'm not going to put Marco as a ticker symbol. I'm going to put ROAD right here. What do you think about this one?
Looks like it's, I mean, kind of.
If let me ask you this. If you had a Robinhood account, right? A Robinhood, right? The brokerage. If you had a Robinhood account and you were to put $1,000, and after 1 year, if you look at the 1 year chart and your account were to look like this, would you be happy?
No.
Well, yeah.
Well, it doesn't look like it. Wait, I don't know.
As in like if your account, if you were to fund your account $1,000 and the principal balance were to be here.
Oh, okay.
And then,
well, yeah.
Yeah, I'm sorry, I didn't explain it very well. And then a year after, it's right here, right? It's showing signs of consistent growth. Like there's no question that when you're growing your trading account, you're going to have red days, right? So this would make sense. But there's a consistent uptrend and a consistent pattern and showing signs of growth. Okay. Do you think by looking at this and looking at how it's been trading, this is going to be a little bit more of a difficult question, right? This has to do more with technical analysis, right? This is kind of like the pattern that we see. It's an overall uptrend. This is the low point, high point, right? Mm-hmm. High point, low point. High point, low point, high point, low point. So if I were to ask you with where we're at right now, is this a low point or a high point based off where we're at right now?
Probably low.
It's more oversold than it is overbought, right? Is it uptrending? No. So that's why we'll set our alerts. We still want to wait for confirmation, especially as the market's been inconsistent. So that's cool that we have a pattern to go off of. But I still want to make sure that, if you worked really hard for your $1,000, right? So if you put in $1,000 and, you want there to be some form of confirmation that it's showing signs of growth. So that's all I would say. It's like, yeah, it's really cool that we have a pattern to go off of, being able to understand the low points, high points, low points, high points, low points, and high points. Now to set ourselves up for success, you'll write out your entire trade plan, your buy, your potential sell, where you plan to sell, and where you would cut losses if there's a breakout pattern. That simple. And maybe you guys can use the OCO bracket video that I uploaded earlier today. But I actually really like this one. I think a lot of people that are just getting started, even maybe for like you, right? You're asking me about maybe how to become a little bit more familiar with patterns and trading. I feel like this is simple enough. This is, and correct me if I'm wrong, almost as simple as it can get when it comes down to there being a pattern. It's just consistently kind of just uptrending with a nice little pattern that it has going on here. So I actually really like this one, and I have heard of it before, so I'm glad that you brought it up. So let's go ahead and move on to the next one. So we got D Webs calling out ticker symbol, what is that? GHSI. GHSI. Here we go. So we're about halfway through the overall Sunday stock talk. Are you feeling okay? Mm-hmm. All right. So what do you think? So again, I'm going to ask you the same question. Now, if you had $100,000, right? Okay. $100,000, and if your balance were to be here, and I were to be like, Megan, you worked really hard for your money, do you want to invest your money into GHSI that's showing this pattern?
No.
Why? One simple thing.
Just consistently going down.
Yeah, it's the overall direction is not in your favor, right? So because of that, can it go up? Based off of what we've seen before, can it go up?
Yeah, it looks like it's starting to pick up a little
Yeah,
bit.
but like anything can happen, right? The overall direction is not in your favor. There's like certain criteria that you as a trader, as time goes on, are going to develop that you want every stock to meet. And an overall descending pattern is probably not one that you want your investment to have or your trade to plan if you're trading on the 1 day, 1 minute chart. So because of that simple understanding, yes, it is showing signs of an uptrend, but because it's been so consistently downtrending, I just think that it's more overbought than it is oversold. It's not viewed as a good deal, and as in deal hunters, right? And we're always here to try to get good deals. I would say that it would be in my probably best interest to stay away. Not to even touch on that it's a lower cap stock, not something that I would probably want to partake in, and it's in the health and science industry that I'm not a huge fan of. So let's go ahead and move on to the next one. And again, I want to completely just share that is my opinion. If you see value in this, then again, that's all power to you. I'm just here to explain why I do or do not see value in something, and then give you my thought process. MKC by Chase Henry. Let's MKC. Here we go. All right. What do you think about this one? So it was showing signs of an uptrend. It peaked out. It's been consolidating, and now we're below this SMA line. It almost looks like it's not changing direction, so it's not selling off, but it's not increasing in value, right? So it's kind of showing this little channel of this range of like, potential support right around $155, $155, and a resistance right around 162. So can you make money? Yes. I don't think the margin is too much, but also I would just say that I would be very careful when something was previously above the SMA line and then is now recently trading below the SMA line. Usually when you see this, and again, this is just an example, this is Shopify. Shopify was showing signs of an uptrend pattern with the SMA line as a support, and as soon as the overall pattern broke below the SMA line, it changes its direction. And that's, I think, the SMA line, which is the simple moving average. Dedicate more time to learn a little bit more about it. You don't just have to learn it from me, but feel free to watch other videos and read more about it. I think it's a great indicator to have a better understanding of overall direction on larger time frames. So I hope that can answer your question. What's going on, Chris? What's up? Chris is a great member within Learn Plan Profit that he is like a professional BMX rider and does like a bunch of tricks. Yeah, I think I might have showed you one of his videos where he was like at a elementary school, and then he had everyone say like TechMed solutions and stuff like that. It was super cool. So great person to have as a part of our team. Here we go, NTEC. So let me go ahead and pull this one up. So Chris has a different trading style, and this has been made very apparent just due to the conversations that him and I have had. Let me go ahead and see his trade plan. So overall entry. Okay. Yeah, no, 100%, Chris. You've showed me your returns. Those are definitely, I can see why, as this is approaching the SMA line, why this could be viewed as a potential support. So it looks like you're waiting for the break above like 80 and stuff like that, and then your stop loss if it goes and breaks below the overall SMA line. You know that I'm not huge on this, but I can definitely see why when it approaches the SMA line that can be viewed as a potential support. Obviously, we still want to wait for some form of indication of an uptrend, but if you can see a consistent pattern and you see that it's moving in your favor and showing signs of an overall uptrend and you're not holding it overnight, then of course, then in a sense that would make sense. So let's go ahead and move on to the next one. So, okay, Christian, do you mind if you put this in the ticker call out format for me, please? What's going on, Drew Fit? Someone asking what platform I'm using. Here we go. What's going on, Freak Kids? So we got AMD right here. All right, so what do you think about this one? Overall, was showing signs of an uptrend. So,
I remember hearing you talk about this a couple stock talks ago.
Yeah, and I talked about it today as well when we were having lunch today.
With Jim?
Yeah, Jim works for AMAT, right?
Mm-hmm.
This is AMD, so this is in a sense, they actually create micro devices, and the company he works for creates the machines that actually make them and stuff like that. So overall, AMD is like the advanced micro device chips are the ones that are in your iPhone and stuff like that. And now they're in Samsung.
And so he creates the software that designs those?
Not that designs them, but the machine, like the, what's it called? It's like a software behind the machines that make this.
Okay.
Yeah, so overall, consistent uptrend pattern, right? And then it broke below the SMA line, and it's been consistently selling off. Mm-hmm. So is this overall direction in your favor? No. Can you still make money while something is selling off? Of course you can. It just comes at a greater risk. That's all we're here to remind you, right? It's very hard to sometimes identify the low point right before something's about to reverse. All I want to remind you is that the SMA line has been acting as a resistance. With that being said, yes, I do agree that AMD is oversold. The MACD has been showing signs of a potential reversal, and the margin of profit might be attractive. As of right now, it's not showing any indications of an uptrend until, we get that alert. So let's go ahead and set that alert, and then we can move on from there. So let's go ahead and let's do two more, and then we can go from there. So microprocessor. Yep. Okay. Here we go. MU. So MU from Michael. Do you know what MU is?
Mm-mm.
Oh, Micron Technologies. Yeah, I wouldn't expect you to know. It's like,
I don't know why I would know that.
Really? You don't know what that is? Jesus. When you look at this, is there a consistent pattern?
No? Wait, maybe?
No. It's not a trick question. It's like, do you see with the past 180 days, is there a consistent pattern?
Not really. It's kind of all over the place.
100%. And I think you're like right on the money. Keeping it that simple. It's like when I showed you that other one that was road, right? It's like, is there a consistent pattern? Yeah, it's very easy to see. There's, it all comes like what you're comfortable with, and you trade only that, right? If something does not meet your criteria, then all you have to do is don't trade it. Some people, and again, correct me if I'm wrong, for all those that are tuning in right now, right? How many of you find MU to be attractive? This could be viewed for some people as a huge dip buy opportunity. So it has a lot of margin to recover, right? So because of that, they're willing to approach it in a more aggressive way. Okay? It doesn't mean that it's better. It just means that they're more aggressive with their trading. And that's just their style, and that's 100% okay. So right here looks like a dip buy opportunity. So I'm going to set my alert because it can 100% continue to sell off, and I want to be alerted. But it also can go up. And I would like to be alerted, right, when it breaks above the SMA line, so I know that it's showing signs of an uptrend. So we're going to keep it that simple. I'm okay with partaking in this margin and waiting for it to do whatever it needs to do down here before it indicates signs of an uptrend. So let's go ahead and do one more. I'm going to do BABA and then one more call out, and then we can call it a Sunday stock talk. But I think I covered a lot of, the whole purpose of our Sunday stock talks are not even to take the different stocks that we talk about, but to kind of see maybe my thought process of how I break down stocks, so you guys can take that information and that thought process and implement it when it comes down to breaking down stocks that you come across as well. This would be very similar to MU, right? This is Baba. Do you know what Baba is? It's Alibaba. Do you know what that is?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like AliExpress, right? So it's huge when it comes down to all those different things that you buy, overseas. But this would be viewed as a potential dip buy opportunity, right? It has a lot of margin to recover, but Alibaba has been struggling at least the past couple of months, as you've seen. And right now we're approaching a previous support. Patterns tend to repeat themselves. They don't have to. So I'll set my alert if this thing begins to indicate signs of an uptrend. And if it does, guess what? We'll get alerted, and then we can revisit this and see if we want to partake in it. If we do, great. If we don't, then guess what? We got alerted, we were updated, and we can make the decision then. So I think that's what I find so attractive about these alerts, is that it simply gives you a little reminder just to follow up with a stock when it's better, when it better meets maybe potentially your criteria. So let's go ahead and do one last one. All right, let's see. Here we go, fast. All right. Here we go. Okay, overall was showing signs of an uptrend, consistently was selling off, pushed up, right? Peaked out right around $34. And okay, so I can definitely see why someone right now is calling this one out. So it sold off from its peak right here, so they could be viewing this as another potential price point of what it can reach again, right? So if we put this as a resistance, since it's sold off, it's been consolidating, so it's no longer selling off, so it's finding a support, and you can see that with the MACD and the RSI. So the idea behind this is that it can then begin to push up. One of the things that you want to ask yourself is, is it uptrending? Is the overall direction in your favor? And then is the margin of profit worth it? So those are questions that you have to ask yourself. It might be worth it for some people. It might not be worth it for others. So I'll set my alert for what it's worth, and then we can be reminded when it breaks above there, when it gets closer to previous resistance, and also if it continues to sell off, then to be alerted. One of these simple little reminders that I want to have for you is that as an up-and-coming earnings report on 10/11/2019, and like if you guys don't know what earnings reports are, Google it, YouTube it, learn a little bit more about it, and see how we could either have a positive or negative catalyst if you choose to hold that specific stock overnight. So we wanted to keep the Sunday stock talk this week pretty simple. We just wanted to break down a couple stocks and give our opinions on that. And that was really just it. So we have a lot of people asking about Roku. Let me go ahead, and I know that one was one that was highly requested, so I'm just going to do it super quick. Here we go. Overall, showing signs of an uptrend, aggressively sold off. Roku, you know what that is?
I have a Roku.
Yeah. Do you know why it sold off?
No.
So there was talk about huge companies such as like Facebook and Google, if I'm not mistaken, that are going to be entering that same space. And the reason that is not good news for Roku is because it stirs up more competition, especially with such powerhouses such as Google, right? Entering that same space. It doesn't look very promising for Roku. When we were watching a movie yesterday, I was going to tell you, but you're going to be like, I don't really care. I was going to be like,
I already have a Roku.
Yeah. But overall, as of right now, it's still showing signs of a downtrend. It is kind of trying to find a support, just like it kind of was here and here. So my friendly little reminder to you, and again, this is just from my experience, is don't try to find the bottom. In my experience, it's not about trying to buy it at the lowest price point. It's about getting in when the actual reversal is happening, when the action is happening and showing signs of an uptrend. Give it time. It has so much margin to recover. So just take a deep breath, be patient with your entry point, and don't put yourself in a bad position that altogether can continue to sell off, especially if you plan on holding it overnight. Set yourself up for success and keep it simple. Allow the direction to be in your favor. And if it's not, then in my opinion, I would wait until then. So that is pretty much it for this week's Sunday Stock Talk. I really hope that I earned your thumbs up in this video. I really do appreciate Megan, my girlfriend, to join us for the Sunday Stock Talk. So it's a little bit different other than having Weston. Now we have Megan. So let me know in the comment section what you enjoyed more, if you found it to be attractive or informative to have someone that is more of a beginner, have me explain it to her, and in essence, then you taking it as me kind of talking to you. With that being said, I also do want to remind you again to save your spot for the $1,000 giveaway. There is nothing else other than what you can do is click the link down below. We're going to be giving 10 prizes away tomorrow with the grand prize of $1,000. So if you have a Facebook account, then click the link down below. If you don't have a Facebook account, then create one, because that is the only way that we are going to be selecting the winner. So what should they do?
Click the link
below. First link below. And again, don't forget to join our free Facebook group. If you guys have any questions, feel free to send me a text or drop them down in the comment section. Again, I really hope that I earned your thumbs up. Continue working hard, continue following dreams, let your passion be what drives your success. And like always, let's make sure that we end the year on a green note. Take it easy, team.